know how to spot a red flag, but a lot of people find it difficult to walk away from a bad relationship and a bad situation. This is the exact same thing that happened between freelancers and their clients. Most times, people complain about how clients don't follow through on their promises or just goes them and not make payments. This doesn't mean that the client is actually a bad client. It just means that your negotiation skills are not that tough. I'm going to be giving you 5 tips on how you can strengthen your negotiation skills and make your clients cooperate with you more better. Let's dive in. Number one, as a freelancer, always take upfront payments. An upfront payment could be 40%, 50% based on what the client agrees with. This serves as a stake. When a client's money is in a project, they find it difficult to just abandon the project and walk away. Well, even if they do, at the end, you have something for the time put in and the energy. Number two, never mention your rates first. When a client reach out to me and ask me what's the cost to build this idea, I always flip it and ask them back, what is your budget? This makes the conversation flexible and open, and I present my rates to the client, and then we see how we can tailor everything into his budget and what he's presenting. If it means removing some features, maybe launching one MVP first and then iterating later on after visiting the market, we do that. This doesn't mean I'm going beyond my standard or my rates. It just means that I'm trying to make everything flexible and affordable by the client. Number three, always set a limit to revisions. Have you ever worked with those clients that always want to change something? Maybe change the logo, maybe move the CTA from left to right, or maybe just change the mockup character from a guy to a lady after going 50% into the project. This is crazy, right? To limit corrections, you need to set standard rules for your clients right from the onset of the negotiation. Make it clear to them that we're only having 2 rounds of corrections or maybe three. The first one is specification round. Let's say, for instance, you tell me to do ABC. I'm going to make sure I do ABC to meet your specification. If it doesn't meet your specification, then we open a third round to make those corrections. So the round three is simply for corrections. Anything beyond that is an added feature or an added change that was not stated in the specification earlier. So if you now want to move the CTA from left to right, is an added change, is an added feature. If you want to now start changing the mockup characters and all that, it's an added change or a new feature. So you have to charge the client for every new feature or every round of correction after the initial 3 rounds. That way, it limits the client to making just few changes. And you see, this works like magic because no client wants to keep on paying extra charges for extra things that they could have tried before they brought their specifications to you. Number four, always charge for urgency. There's always this one client who wants to build a website a day before their business launches. Well, if you're telling me to build a website in the shortest time possible, it simply means you're telling me indirectly to abandon every other thing that I have on the side and focus solely on your project. What this means is that you have to provide me with the resources that I need to get the job done. And you're indirectly telling me to get into the right mindset, regardless of whatever challenges, data, power, energy, and resources. I might need an extra hand to get this done since it's a very short period of time. I'm definitely going to charge you more for the urgency. This is not being unfair. This is just standard practice. Number five, always have everything written down. A written document is the only source of truth. PRODs, product specifications, design specifications, everything should be written down to avoid unnecessary back and forth. Also, you should have binding contracts because freelancers can abandon a project, same thing as clients as well. When you have this binding contract, it's very hard for each party to just abandon ship. Let me give you a scenario. For instance, you have a contract clause that says initial down payment is not refundable, and then you go ahead to even state that if the client doesn't provide what you need in the given amount of time, let's say for instance assets, APIs and stuff that they need to purchase to actually make the project move further, then you are eligible to walk away from the project without refunding the initial down payments. This is a very solid contract. When you have this, you won't have to send the client a message today and then get the response 2 weeks later, because trust me, there are clients like that. There are people that will just give you a project and go to sleep, but you need further resources from them to get this done. So yeah, when you have this kind of clauses set, it's hard for the clients to just treat you the way they want or respond whenever they see fit. Same thing goes for the freelancers as well. Most times freelancers can just wake up and abandon projects, but if you as a client you have a written contract that binds you and the freelancer, Maybe if the freelancer decide to desert the project with a given period of time, they are eligible to be sued and they will refund the initial payment and also pay more charges for time wasted. So when these clauses are set like this, both parties respect it and they don't just walk away because they know that there are consequences. If this video was useful to you, like, comment, share to people that will also find this helpful, and follow me for more tips.